Hey guys, JCB here. I would like to discuss with you on my experience with Class of Heroes Anniversary Edition. We first start off with the introduction to Spartacus Academy, as we are studying here to become adventurers. They advise us to take the beginner curriculums on getting started. This is the first time in a very long while going through a dungeon crawler RPG, so it was best for me to learn all what we can do here. The first part is to enroll ourselves into the academy. This is done by giving ourselves a name, gender, race, alignment, and course of who we want to be. Choosing these criteria are important since they have their own unique features that sets them apart. I learned this layer from taking the curriculums that building these essentials makes us prepared to take on the labyrinths. However, what they didn't teach us, which I had to learn myself outside the game, was the bonus points can differ each time we build onto our characters. These points are very special since they will be able to access ourselves to some of the courses that demand more points from. Nevertheless, we can choose to add an additional course on top at a later point, but there was a catch which would drop down half of our HP, so I decided to go with just one course at a time and experimented on each of the courses until I've chosen the right team. After that is done, it was time for me to dive deep into the curriculum classes, as they do a good job explaining the basics by letting us know the purposes of the different departments along with advice on choosing the right team for the labyrinths. I had a good time learning certain classes like Thieves that are really great at disarming traps, or the affinity changes between the races and alignment that we do choose from if we want everyone to work together sooner rather than later. It's a lengthy process of shoving this into my brain, but it's definitely worth it with making it easier for me to understand the concept. Next are the labyrinths themselves, as this is the main purpose to turn ourselves into great adventurers. Even though the curriculums have given us the basics of how to explore inside, it doesn't provide us with a big warning that we'd have to encounter tough monsters inside. There are chances of getting all sorts of monsters inside, whether weak or strong, that we must decide to fight or run away from. This is built with trial error in mind, as I feel we are required to make better decisions next time, as we can revive ourselves back into the academy, but only for a certain number of times until we are gone for good. This is where I came up with the quick save method for every single decision I make, since we can save at any point to help speed up our progress. As for the progression, we will need to complete the class quests that are given to us at the academy, which at first is to complete the curriculums to get further permissions from our teachers to explore further labyrinths. Along the way, we will be building up our stats, money, and equipment to help us navigate through these new labyrinths better. This is done by defeating enemies and collecting items through chests. The experience to level up sometimes may increase or decrease our stats, but with the items we do find, it would work better as we can run back to the academy to identify these items and potentially get something stronger for us to equip on. However, it may take some time to get adjusted on the way, as the items are randomized and may not have the right stuff to build right away. Money becomes another factor to buy items from the shop, but it is easier to make later if we do have a thief on our team that can steal from enemies. Also, with exploring the labyrinths, there are extra factors that we need to be aware of. These come into events such as traps or the environment that may hinder our vision, or we need to float over deep areas to get across to the other side. This becomes crucial to learn these different factors and having the map active to know how to move on. With all this being done, it eventually led me onto sticking with 6 characters, as I decided to go with my first career character along with the 5 preset characters we get to choose from in the start. I was covered in the expertise of physical attacks and endurance on the front line, while at the back it was all about having offensive and defensive magic skills and healing to keep all of our characters in check. Also, they had the skills to solve the problems found in the labyrinths, along with a good set of affinity and skills. Skills are individual passive or active abilities that each character can learn that will help out in a particular area. My favorite skill had to be the Robin feature from the Thief that will allow us to acquire money at a faster rate to buy better items in the future. As for the affinity, it helps out with the skill party gauge that allows us to perform an attack together as a group. These are definitely helpful for the harder battle scenarios, and we will need to use this very often to get more usage. Optional side quests are available by taking requests from teachers and students, which we can accept from in the library. This is where we get a better background check of their personalities and what we can do to help them. I enjoyed going through these, as some of them are hilarious to read through along with the rewards we get at the end. Unfortunately, some of these quests are locked until we have completed the game, so some academies that I wanted to explore further, such as Mashlinia, was unfinished, which I was hoping to see if anything was going to change from their current dilemma. Nevertheless, some optional features such as the arena and fitting room was core entries of arriving into the different academies, as we get to fight previous bosses and gain easy experience, items and gold from them, along with having a variety of costumes to choose from that will change our appearance and at times our stats that could help us to be stronger in that specific department. As for the main story, we get into contact with Nina in the deeper parts of the labyrinth at some point, who is trying to stop the Moria from taking over. We decide to help her, as it will require us to take care of all the 12 life golems before taking her out. Each of them have their own strengths and weaknesses that we would need to learn and solve. At first, when we first approached the Moria, I thought she provided us a clue for the finale battle against her, with her mentioning she was able to disable magic and skills, but that wasn't the case when we got to fight her, as it was more about luck finding the right set of stats to defeat her in her final 2 phases. Overall, Class of Heroes Anniversary Edition was a fun game to get back into the dungeon crawl experience, as it gave me a thorough tutorial to go through, along with the world building through its dungeons and people we were able to interact with. If any of you guys have any experiences with this game, feel free to share in the comments, and I hope you have a wonderful day.